All right, guys, we're back with another Edison format tournament at Epik Cards and Games in Hurst, Texas. This is actually not a regular local. This is a Players Championship. So the top 8 players with the most points during the past 3 months got invited to this tournament. It was a free tournament just to reward the players who play the most and who do the best this season. So we have myself on the left playing Vayu Turbo versus Bob on the right playing Amaryllis. So it looks like I went first. Activate Allure, banish Vayu, set a monster at one back row. And Bob activates Hint Armory, mills MST, and let's see which equipped spell he's going to search from his deck. Also, it's a single elimination tournament. This was actually a week before the Ultimate Time Machine tournament in Austin, so my deck was a little bit different compared to the deck I played in Austin. Because I usually use locals just to test out cards before the big events. And yeah, I'm a week behind because I've just had so many locals that I've uploaded recently. All right. Let's see here. Bob with 2 back rows. So did I set the Ryko or the Hamster? It could be either or. Because usually if it's a lot of times with Hamster, people set it by itself. Whereas Ryko, people normally don't set Ryko on its own. Anyways, I flip Ryko, discard. He target the Wing Blast, and then he targets my D Prison, and I mill Sirocco, MST. All right, now what? He's got 1 back row left, and I choose to Heavy Storm him, hit his Mirror Force, and here comes Rhoda. So do we Rhoda for Armageddon or Grepher, depending on what else I have in my hand. So it looks like I choose Armageddon Knight, and do we send Plague? Do we send Vayu? Now, are we afraid of Gores and Amaryllis is the question, and to be honest, I've seen some people don't use it while some people do. So I don't know. Ooh, taking plays back. See. That's on me. I know I call people out because, yeah, sharking is just a real thing. I know I talked to a few of my locals and they were talking about the whole sharking thing at big events and stuff. It's like sometimes you get punished for not sharking. Alright, so it looks like I'm top decking for Plague. So I have a lot of choices here. Depending on the rest of my hand, we'll see what I decide to do. Like I said, this is actually more than a week ago. So I don't remember exactly the details of this match. I remember some, but like it's always different when I'm commenting over my own duels versus my... Because whenever I'm watching other people, I'm always thinking, what would I do if I was in their shoes? Anyways, here comes Stardust. And I burial him. So now I have Plague again. And I have a Vayu that I lured away. So the lure helped the burial become live. So now I'm just going to poke him for 23 and 25. So Bob's at 32 to my 8,000. And 1 back row. Now let's see if Bob can get out of this. I mean, I've only got 3 cards. I already know what I'm drawing thanks to Plague. And now Bob sets a monster. Come on, return. He sets 2 and passes. Okay. So I top for Plague again. Does Bob stop it? No. So do I go for Dark End? Yeah, I'm probably going to go for Dark End to get rid of the set monster so I can try and finish him off. And does Bob have a response? He does. He Wing Blasts me and gets rid of his last card, which is the Mark of the Rose, which I know he had. And here comes Ryko, and he chooses to mill and does mill the Plague, which might come back to bite me. But we both have 2 cards. And nice, what a draw from Bob. Top deck the heck out of that Lone Fire. Now, Bob chooses to keep the other Lone Fire in his deck, which I think some people have said that it just depends on how many, like if you have Amaryllis and you need the extra plant, you get the second Lone Fire. But here he doesn't have Amaryllis, so anyway, I hit him for 25. This deck doesn't normally play D Prison, so I'm not afraid of it. And he had no cards at the time. But anyways, he Miracle Furts, attacks over my Stardust for 300, so now I'm top decking. So I believe my card in hand is Gore, so I could have just passed and let him attack into my Gores. But I think had I just passed, I don't think Bob attacks. I don't think he attacks with So here, I know he has Miracle Furt. So I'm if I remember correctly, my card in hand is Gorge, which I almost never played Gorge in this deck, and honestly, I really don't know about Gorge. Yeah, it saves you at times, and it can flat out win you games if you draw it early, but like I can see myself not playing it. Like I said, I almost never play it, but occasionally I'll put it back. Oh yeah, I just slipped. You guys saw it. I slipped up and revealed the Gores. Now Bob, luckily for me, Bob didn't see it, but the camera saw it. Okay, so he's at 700. He knows my set is Raikou, so I could flip up Raikou and just mill. Let's see what I decide to do. So I have Gores, Raikou, and another card in my hand. So versus Bob. I'm sick. Bob top decked that Lone Fire. So I choose to pass. That's interesting. I guess I don't want to take the damage, so he's going to attack me anyway, right? And I'm probably going to choose just to mill. So let's see what Bob decides to do here. He's got 3 cards. Looking at his extra deck, so maybe he's considering top decking for Plague. What can he do with a top decked Plague? He can make a level 5. He can make Android, Catastor. Let's see what Bob decides to do. But that looks like that's what he's thinking about doing. Oh, never mind. Switches the Danny to attack mode. What will Bob do? I mean, it's the only tuner, so he chooses to attack with Danny. He knows it's Raikou. And I choose to mill. Mill Vayu, Sirocco, and Kai's. Ooh, nice mills. Hits me, and then here comes the Gores. So this is going to help me out a lot. Now I have a 2,800 token. So like I said, Gores was good here because Bob attacked into it, but I don't know. I'm still not a fan. Slime token. Good thing I got a new token. I stood in that long line. For those of you guys who went to the Time Wizard, who went to Nationals this past weekend, I stood in that long line to get a token too. You'll probably see the Sheriff Los. A couple other of my friends, we all took a picture for our Gorge token. Okay, so now Bob is going to top deck for Plague. And he can make a Android or he can make a Catastor. So Catastor runs over the token, but he probably is anticipating I'm going to... Oh, yeah, he had normal summon. That's right. So now he can make an 8. But he's only going to get 2 tokens and not 4. So now he's got Colossal, and I can't deal with a Colossal with this field. But at least I can crash into his Titanial. If, like, let's say I have a Raikou, I don't have to worry about... So I'm counting to see how many warriors I have. So what will I do? Will I crash into the Titanium or hit both tokens? Depends on the rest of my hand. Like if I have a Caius, I probably crash. Ooh, I have Arm Wing. Okay. So Arm Wing is going to clear his field. So I can Arm Wing, hit his... See, I got pretty lucky there. I milled Vayu and Sirocco. Anyway, I know his Mirror Force is gone. Because we saw him... I got rid of his Mirror Force early in the game. And now we crash, so he's got nothing. His back row is nothing, and then I set a back row and pass. So 49 to 700. So Bob knows my Mirror Force is gone, so do you risk it and attack into a D prison? Let's see what Bob decides to do. But he also loses to Caius, so maybe he has to take the risk here and attack. And he does. And D prison and set pass. No, I think you know I don't have Caius because I would have Caiused you the previous turn, right? So I would have to top deck the Caius. So anyway, here comes Morphine Jar. See, I didn't even bother upstarting because I'm going for game. That's why I normal summon the Vayu and then attack for game. So now we debate, should Bob have attacked there with the Colossal? I think you know I don't have Caius because I would have to top deck into it. Versus no D princes were gone. So yeah, I think you don't attack there. You just switch the Colossal to defense mode or leave it in attack mode. either or works. All right, so here came two. Bob opens the Lone Fire into a second. So this time he gets both Lone Fires out of the deck and grabs Titanium. Yeah, Amaryllis is proving to be one of the best decks. We had two more top the Ultimate Time Wizard in Austin. So this deck's just proving it's. I think it's because it has a lot of good matchups. But with the risk, like GBs now getting more popular, that might hurt Amaryllis moving forward because now you have two difficult matchups in GBs and Black Wings. So that might hurt this deck. And because like the reason I believe Amaryllis does so well is because it has a good Vayu matchup and has a good Frog matchup. Because Titanium just hurts those decks at times. Anyways, here comes trade in Amaryllis. So he's got Titanium, one back row Amaryllis versus my one back row and one set monster. We're both at 8,000. So what will Bob do now? Summon Trooper, so that's going to feed his Amaryllis, mills Mark of the Rose, Necro, and Oh, man, that's unfortunate. What a mill, man. Necro and Dandelion. So he's trying to protect his Titanium, attacks into my Dinah, and Dinah wipes the field of his Titanium and two tokens. He uses normal summon already, so does Bob go end phase Amaryllis? And I bottomless his Amaryllis and pass. I think I had to bottomless Amaryllis because my hand wasn't that good. I could have held it for I could have held it for another Titanium, but I don't know the rest of my hand, so that's just my guess. We'll see. Because I could tell, like, I remember I thought about not bottomlessing that Amaryllis and holding it. But now, Bob gets DDR. Activates Heavy Storm, and my back rows were MST and Torrential. Okay, so that's why I bottomless Amaryllis, because I have two outs to the DDR. I had MST and Torrential. But unfortunately, Bob had Heavy Storm, and yeah, now it's not looking good. And now I'm getting cooked. So Trooper attacks into Hamster, and I get Ryko. So I guess the argument would be, should I have set both there? Maybe I should have only set the MST. Ooh, I milled Needle Ceiling. But I was still in trouble, man. Bob's got just infinite resources now. So here comes Greffer, pitch Vayu. I'm probably going to have to... Do I have a Sirocco or anything in there? Let's see. So that's what I'm going to go look for. And... yeah, so we sent Sirocco. 8,000, 8,000. Yeah, Bob's in the dominance position here. I'm just thinking, should I have set both? Maybe I should have just set the MST. Or I could have maybe only set Torrential. But if I only set Torrential... So this is the same situation. If I only set the Torrential. But if I only set MST, I guess I lose to like... Actually, I don't lose too much. Maybe I should have only set MST there, now that I think about it. Because MST would have stopped Miracle Furt. MST would have stopped DDR. So yeah, I think maybe I should have only set MST. And then he heavies my MST. And then now I still have Torrential. So okay, lesson learned. That was a mistake. And yeah, you can see here, I got punished bad. Would I have won this game? Spoiler alert, I do end up losing this game. I mean, you could just tell. Look at my hand. I got like one or two cards staring down this huge field. Like anyone watching this game would assume that Bob wins. I'd have to draw like the perfect card to get out of this one. I actually think I scoop right after this. So let's see, I got 3 cards. Yep, see? Yeah, I looked at my hand, I was like, yeah, that's game. So yeah, that was just interesting. Me getting blown out by heavy. Should I have set the two? I think I maybe could have gone away with just send the MST, and maybe I torrential him. We don't know, but game 3, I'm going first. Remember, this is a single elimination tournament. So I upstart into Arma and send Vayu. I actually don't normally do this play, but I remember my hand was like, yeah, I almost never do this play. Summon Arma, send Vayu, turn 1. Anyway, here comes Trooper, mills Decree, triple. So now he's got all 3 Amaryllis in his grave. He discarded the first one for trade in, then milled 2 more plus a Decree. So now I know Bob's got Decree sided in against me. So Trooper hits over Arma for 5, so we're at 75 to 9,000. And did Bob pass? Oh, I remember. We had a delay. Okay, I remember what happened. I dropped the card, and that's why we kind of... Oh, and I accidentally showed Bob my hand right there. So we saw a Plague Spreader in my hand. Raikou, so my hand is like Plague, Raikou. Yes, Plague, Raikou, and a few other cards. So there's 2 darks in there. My hand is Plague, Raikou, so I decide to summon Gale half the Amaryllis. Attack the Trooper. And he takes 900. So I attack Trooper because I don't want him to keep milling. Plus, if he plus with Card Trooper, he can just run over my Gale. So then here comes Trade-in, Titanial. So this Amaryllis can't run over my Gale right now because I halved it. It's at 11. All right, what will Bob do? And here comes Hidden Armory, mills the second Decree, so at least I don't have to worry about Decree for the rest of the game. And Bob is going to get Mark of the Rose. So if he wants to, he can take my Gale, but he can't normal summon, so he can't really do anything with my Gale. Yeah, he can't do much. Should he have maybe gotten DDR? Like, he can go end phase, banish Titanial, and... Yeah, end phase, banish Titanial, and grab... Or maybe he might have the DDR already in his hand. It's possible. Let's see if he does. Maybe that's why he chose not to. Yep, he already had it. Alright, so now he's got Titanial, and then here comes Bottomless on the Titanial. DDR goes. And we're at 75 to 81. Switches the Amaryllis attack mode. That's an 11... No, yeah, that's an 1100 Amaryllis. So I'm going to take 11 plus 8 from the Amaryllis burn. So we're at 56, and now he hits me for 13. So we're at 43 to 81. Sets 1, and then here comes Amaryllis and gives me back the Gale. Okay, so we know I have Plague, Raikou in hand, and what else can I do to stop this field? Plague, Raikou. I guess I could set Raikou. I could attack over the Amaryllis, and that'll put me at 3,500. See, this is the one time where I missed having Magical Android in my extra deck. It rarely comes up, but like Cyber Dragon, having to play Chimeritic, it takes up a spot in your extra deck. That's the one thing. It's one of the reasons why I don't want to side deck Cyber Dragon. I've messed around but then I miss it in certain matches. Like I miss it against Hero Beat. Occasionally I'll miss it against Black Wings. That's why I prefer to have it in my deck. So I choose his back row, which was a Bottomless. I milled Hamster and another card. I could have popped the Hidden Armory as well, but you know, all I need to do is synchro with the Gale, and then the Hidden Armory is going to go away. So that's why I didn't bother popping the Hidden Armory. So now we're at 35 to 81. Gale attack, so that puts me down to 27 for me taking down the Amaryllis. And now another set monster. And he takes the Gale. He's just abusing my Gale now. I think one of the Amaryllis players who top 8'd was actually side decking Gale. Alright, so here comes Lone Fire. Drops the second Lone Fire, which makes sense. You got 3 Amaryllis or 2 Amaryllis in the grave. So here comes another bottomless from the to get rid of the Titanial. Bob's got like 3 cards in his hand, attacks my set Raikou, and I choose to get rid of his Twister. What's the Twister for? What the heck? Oppression, that's what it's for. That makes sense. Okay, end phase, Amaryllis, and gives me back the Gale, so now I'm at 27 to his 81. Alright, now what? I know there's Caius in my deck, but I just... Like I said, this is the one time I miss having Android. So he crows my Vayu. That hurt really bad right now. Okay, so what can I do? I could have also like summoned Raikou a turn earlier and made Catastor to get rid of that Mark of the Rose. Okay, so now what? 3 cards in hand. Gale attack, but now I'm at 19. 19 to his 81. What's going on? So 3 more burns from Amaryllis and Bob wins. Oh, I think we had an issue with the like points. Because I was using pen and paper and Bob was using the phone. It's always better to do pen and paper. Like the last weekend, there was so like people who were using calculators were messing up the like points. Yeah, for a big event, I prefer using pen and paper. Less mistakes. At locals, I'll use the Neuron app. Okay, yeah, this is why there's a long delay. It's just we were arguing about something, I can't remember. There was like some damage we missed. So we're at 1981, and I choose to set another monster. And he's gonna take my Gale for like the 10th time. Here comes Foolish from Bob. Dumps Dandy and gets 2 tokens. Yep, 2 tokens. Now he's left with 2 cards in his hand. 19 to 81. He's got like... He's running out of plants, though, because he's been abusing the Amaryllis. So yeah, here I'm going to check to see how many plants he has left for Amaryllis. Because that's going to determine what I do. Let's see. My face down is Needle Sealing. So I decide to use it here. Because I'm not sure if I'll have another chance to use the Needle Sealing. So that's why I chose to use it there. And then here comes Miracle Furt. And Bob gets Lone Fire. Pops the Lone Fire. So Miracle Furt goes with Lone Fire. And what's he going to grab? Botanical Lion. Because he's out of Titanials. How many cards are left in Bob's hand? Okay, now I'm forced to Torrential here. I have Plague. Got rid of his Botanical Lion. And end phase, Bob has another Amaryllis. I'm trying to remember why I Needle Sealinged him. I think it's because Okay, here comes Allure. So I blind Allure. I summon Dinah, blind Allure because I'm at 19. I need to draw my outs. So I did draw a Dark, which is Dark Armed. And attack his Amaryllis, so he's at 11. So now I'm at 11 to 81. And Bob activates Hidden Armory, Mills. And he's going to grab back the Mark of the Rose. Activates Mark of the Rose. Takes my Dinah. Yeah, I'm probably looking for Necrogardna. And I'm asking him how many plants are left. Attacks me for 12. Do I have Necro? Nope. So I'm forced to Mirror Force a Dinah or I lose. Because I'm at 11. And then end phase. Amaryllis. I mean, this is not looking good for your hero. I can't deal with this Amaryllis. So I want to go over... Oh, I remember why I needle ceilinged Bob. So he had a Gale and 2 tokens. I didn't want Bob to synchro with the 2 tokens and then my needle ceiling be dead. That's why I flipped the needle ceiling right then and there. So I draw and I scoop. So yeah. So if you, I was because I remember Bob was telling me I shouldn't have needle ceiling them there, but I'm like thinking, what if you just synchro for Android, then you go Miracle Furt and bring back another monster, then I can't use my needle ceiling. Now maybe Bob would have gotten greedy and activated Miracle Furt, brought back a Titan or Lone Fired into Botanical Lion, but I can't predict if Bob's going to do that. So I assumed that he was going to synchro for like a 5. And, you know, we'll never know. But congrats to Bob. He's moving on to the top 4 of the Players' Championship. Again, this is single elimination, which I'm upset about. We should at least have like a top 4. But it is what it is. Anyway, so hope you guys enjoyed this match. And we'll be back soon for the rest of the tournament. Bye, guys.